Hello, everyone. Uh, I've decided that I would just make videos still, I love this market, so, win or lose, I'm gonna keep reviewing it every now and then. Probably not gonna do frequent stuff, but um, I just gotta show some of this because it's um it's interesting, and I want to keep emphasizing my philosophy, which is that there is no true price discovery and that everything operates um, according to an algorithm, and whatever the price per share is just the algorithm printing a price based on where it's at in its cycle. And so, um, you can react with certain strategies, but at the end of the day, I just kind of want to give my sentiments, really. So we're basically there. To put it straight, this line on the right side here at the top, we had a crazy day on SPY, like a 1% drop here. And you want to know why it's not the top yet? Well, we have a 1 minute gap right as soon as the drop started. How amazing is that? Yep. So I think that the odds of a 1 minute gap remaining here for the next 6 months or a year, very rare. So this kind of indicates to me that we're actually just playing out this last top here, or this third top. And I'm not sure if I said it in my other video, but I think that FOMC actually showed that another top had started. So it's like you have two you have two rally sequences playing in conjunction here, and it's just crazy. So you know, or maybe not. Maybe I'm overthinking it, and it's been fine this whole time. And really, we just finally reached the top. Okay, because I think that this is really getting there. Like we're like really close to hitting this vector here, this bull vector that starts from 350 and it comes and it originates on the daily time frame as well. And so we rejected really hard before hitting that, and we left the 1 minute gap upon the breakdown, and we got a little bit of a reversal here. I think that the stars are aligned, and we're just playing out this right here. And we all know what happens after this. So what I've tried doing is doing like a little vector of this section. So I just went from bottom to top because it's known, and you always want to focus on what's known to you. And then from this point, we didn't get a clear test of this line from this point. So, what I'm looking at right now, and I do have a little bit of bias in this, right? So I'm thinking that in the pre-market session here, we're just playing out this right here. And, that's kind of where we're getting. And I think we're going to tread underneath this line. I tried to, mimic this vector as best as I could. So I think there's about 2 days of bullishness left. And considering the fact that the contractual non-adjusted all-time high is 470. Oh man, I adjust 479.98. Okay. 479.98. Okay. We're there. So the theory that I have is, since this is the top, I'm thinking everything. I know I keep saying it. I mean, yeah, I'm just been close this whole time. I really think it's just been close. Um, I guess this kind of really just goes to show the scaling here, right? I mean, this was in the past. This was about 23 minutes, and it was a 0.38% drop. This in the present was 3 hours, and it was almost a 2% drop. Like, the scaling up here is insane. And I think it has something to do with FOMC for sure. So, the levels are just volatile, and we're sitting above all-time high adjusted. And if you notice that after the dividends, the all-time high adjustment got changed from 467 to 465. This is something to keep in mind, but I'm not too sure how that affects the unadjusted all-time high remains the same and will remain the same. And because the sequence doesn't go above that point, it's not gonna hit, or it's not gonna go above 479.98, but it can double top here. So I'm just thinking, with a little bit of bias, that that's kind of what we get here. And so I tried to come up with a vector, considering that there's an important report on Friday. What might happen? Well, this would be the perfect case. We just kind of come underneath this, and GDP is fine, and then all day we just kind of um, we respect this line, respect the vector, and it would be great to have a double top at 479.98 end of day on Friday, and then when Christmas is over, the market just absolutely tanks. But it's not going to be too fast. Like this section here, this could be 2 days worth. So, next week could just be slow, and it could give small caps time to breathe. Who knows? But regardless, right? I mean, we saw how crazy this drop was today, and how it's analogous to this 0.38% drop. Right? Just assuming that this is correct, we can imagine what this is going to be like. And looks like there's less chop involved in this, and it's just a straight shot down. So I'm thinking that this is either just like a report or what? I don't know. We got some North Korean news going on as well. So I don't know if war is going to be the excuse or what. I mean, they got to find something. I imagine them all just like scrambling around their table, like, what report? What can we line up with it? What can we line up with it? Yeah, disgusting. But we're close. That's all that matters. And it's been a long ride. So hopefully this is the path. Just kind of, I did see AMC made a crazy move. I'm thinking that it's playing out March. This is March 2022 behavior for sure. So, these lines here are just me trying to come up with some way that it could possibly go end of the week here. I mean, look at this. These lines intersect on December 22nd, which is, Friday, the PCE report. Logically, considering we have a long weekend ahead of us, I wouldn't want to be short, in case of a Santa rally, so I would cover. But not too sure that's how the market wants to be. So look at this real quick. I need to be on a larger time frame. So we kind of got this like rule of three going on here. And it lines up pretty well, right? So above this point, and the line's not perfect, but it's weeble. You can see that the lines kind of intersect together, and I'm thinking that what we're kind of seeing in the present here is we have this macro line that is creating a limitation for the stock, and then we have the rule of three trend on the top here. And it's just, I mean, yeah, could this go into next week? Sure. But it really wouldn't make a lot of sense because you're increasing the heights of this. So again, if I was short here, I would cover end of the week and let this thing effing go already so that you can re-enter a short position, just for the love of God. Maybe calls win. But you can see here that when it began, or I guess before it really started, right, there was that lower low. Now this lower low is a bit scary because it looks it looks outside the bounds of, I guess it's this choppy movement here, right? I mean, this just looks like a straight breakdown. So maybe AMC isn't ready and it just continues to go down here. Who knows? That would kind of, that would be bad. I just don't think so, man. You know, GameStop, I think it's just gonna follow SPY. So I think, it's got 2 days to hit high 19s, 20. Microvision. I want to show this because it is also playing out March. I think you should see. Yep. Maybe so, maybe so. So, just like AMC, it's using the microstructure of a different point in time to reach its goal. Now, the goal that I think it's trying to meet is 3.9. I don't really believe in 5 anymore because of how weak it's been up to this point. But I'm thinking that we got this one. This was Fed, right? Federal Reserve. And now we're just on that last section. So this could go lower. And the reason I say that is because there's a price gap here at 2.47. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goes now. But considering where I think SPY is, and it's in that last melt-up phase, today should be it, man. It could go into next week. It could be slow. But, for added, just kind of emphasize this. Look at this structure here before the breakdown. On Microvision. Now, what's odd is we didn't get this top here. Now, I'm trying to figure out what this means exactly. But it looks like it just decided to come down without making that higher high for whatever reason. Maybe 2.8 is like a gate or something. Or there's a deeper mechanic at play here. But the reason why I think 3.97 really just comes down to straight up levels. Like straight up levels. Now these red lines are small gaps that were present in extended hours. But I don't really care about those. I know where they are in my head. I know that they're there. But the real levels that I care about are just by zooming out and looking at this. This stock looks extremely mirrored. It looks like it wants to just replay exactly what the left side was, but just in a different fashion. And it does really come down to what the indexes do the next few days, and if a Santa rally happens, or if there is no Santa rally and it's just a bust, meaning that the top would be in by Friday. So, if this is the case, I was thinking that it would kind of look like this, you know, as a top, and then it would break out here, you know, um, keeping in mind the sequence that ends with a crazy rally, which would basically bring SPY to all-time highs again. So it would make sense that there could be a breakout here. If not, I mean, if I just zoom out again, I mean, look how, you see what I'm saying? I can't really put it into words. So the issue that I'm having, though, is I do believe, indubitably, that this pattern literally played out on this micro here, and that this spike is both something that is new, but at the same time it is nested in this mechanic here. So then I asked myself, well, what did this candle really achieve here? Okay, and I think that it was really just setting up this level, which is 5.8, right? So it's the top of this wick here, and this might be more ICT minded than fractal wise, because it is a level. If we think about like fair value gaps, but it's not a fair value gap, it's just a really important level, in my opinion. Like, that's how I view it. So, we got a solid bounce here. We got a retest here before the breakdown. It's the top of this candle. It's the top of this section. There's a gap created around this area as well here. And so, this is why I'm marking off this level. And then we just kind of go down the ladder a little bit. And sure, you could probably find a lot of levels that are important here, but the ones that stick out to me are these. And you can see how there is actually a gap created here at this level, which I think is pretty important. But I think the most important level by far is 3.97, because look at the behavior of the stock every time this level was hit. Insane rejections. Like, you have a clear trend forming here, and then when it hit this level, it just like digs down like hard, right? You have like a solid channel here, but when it hits this there's 3.97 level, it kind of goes with outside the bounds of its normalcy, right? It does the same thing here, here, here. Like, it had to double check it, right? And then before this squeeze really started, it was just kind of around this area too much. The same thing here before the breakdown, I had to double check it again. And so, what I'm thinking happens here is it's playing out this exact March sequence, just like AMC is. It's playing out March as well, and GameStop's playing out March too, right? I think everything's just being thrown into a March sequence. It's playing out this here in order to achieve this level check, right? So I think what's going to happen is it'll get rejected pretty hard at this level, at this 3.4 level, because it's also an important rejection zone. Didn't really get a perfect retest here, unfortunately, but sometimes it's just frustrating like that. But I think it'll be a good middle ground for the squeeze. So maybe like, if this all happens in one day, once it hits this level, it might do something crazy, and I might get out of what calls I have left here. Um, because I don't know if 3.97 is going to get hit in one day. This seems a lot slower to me. Actually, it seems it's hard to really gauge it, but I really do think that it's going to use this March candle in order to check off 3.97 because the market is about to turn into um, hellfire, basically, right? So if if I was the algorithm here, it's impossible to really, um, assume that. I would check this level off first, and then, maybe all next week is just really slow, and it does some small cap BS stuff here, and then it just kind of checks. It checks off this level before ultimately um, doing its bear thing, and I think it will fill this daily gap here. But it is known to leave some gaps open. We have a 50-cent gap here. I don't think that the bear phase of the market's going to bring it down that low because it does seem to hold this level down here pretty well. So yeah. So I think man, it's just, yeah, I get it, but it's close. Everything is really close. You can see how blue chips are acting right now. Funny, Google. Um, Apple is just trying to fight right now. I think it might be on its last leg. Amazon too, doing just like Microsoft did. Everything is just so close. You don't even, you know, not gonna get into it, but yeah, it looks like it's just kind of playing out Microsoft. It's close. So I'm very curious to see what happens here. Maybe next week after Christmas, if you guys celebrate, I hope you have a good time. Um, but if not, oh well. Still hope you have a good time, good weekend. Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting week. I can't believe that like AMC should have broken out here. I was expecting today to get it going, but they offered more shares, man. Right, where the crucial point is a crucial point. Something about it. It's just weird. But it did leave a 15-minute gap here, and 15-minute gaps are odd. They're rare. I mean, I could just scroll back for hours, and you'll just see like this one 24, which is a very important price in my head. But other than that, like, you're not gonna see any gaps pop up. So I'm thinking that it does reverse here, and I think that today would make sense if it was, or Tuesday when we come back, because I think they're gonna use a Santa rally excuse. It's definitely in the air right now, but I don't know. I don't know. Like VIX, this looks scary on VIX. Like that looks terrifying because that could definitely continue, but at the same time, you could just get two candles here, right? Because all I'm really expecting is bullishness till Friday. But if it wants to be slower here, then You know, you could just get BS candles that really just do nothing and kind of form some kind of inverse here. And then it breaks out. Yeah, you can see we got this daily gap at 16. Let me go back on the stock and see how many daily gaps pop up. Legit none. None. So I think everyone can agree that the VIX is going to reverse here at some point, and it's definitely going to hit this target, 16.63. So it's just a waiting game as per usual. Always a waiting game. Bitcoin, look at that. Came back up. So maybe it just moves with SPY. You know, if it's bullish heading into Friday, maybe Saturday, Sunday, or maybe Saturday gets like one last push to wherever it wants to go, and then Sunday it just starts breaking down. That'd be interesting as well. But now this is what's crazy to me is the dollar, the DXY. So I had like a megaphone pattern here, and I assumed that it would come down pretty far. Yeah, I get that. And, you know, retest this or something, but I don't know. I think it wants to just stay in the middle, which is fine, you know. It could just do BS candles here like VIX is expected if it is bullish into Friday, and you know, next week maybe it comes up and then tries to break out here. You know, the next Federal Reserve meeting is January 31st. So what is that? Right? So it's this week, I guess. Yeah. That's like where I really see the market coming down. And then March 20th is the next one. So maybe it breaks out on that meeting and then comes down to retest and then runs. Makes a higher high here maybe. Who knows? I see. I'm not too sure. I got to figure out because you know if the rally sequence is respecting this this bull vector, right? Assumably expecting the market to become bearish after it hits this vector. Keeping in mind that it has to be below 479.98 or it hits that on the dot, right, on to the penny. I don't think it'll go above it at all. Exact double top or, you know, just a little bit lower. But, fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but considering that it's respecting this bull vector, I'm assuming there's got to be the opposite, a bear vector, that the lower low is going to bounce off of. And I'm trying to figure out, you know, what line could possibly time it up with the May Federal Reserve meeting. So, you know, I think that this is just a Fed market. So, January 31st is Fed. March 20th is Fed. And May 1st, excuse me, is Fed. So, considering we have two legs here, it would make sense to drop all the way into Fed. Or maybe it does this. Oh. I don't know where it's going to go at that point. Holy crap. Oh, maybe it... That would be crazy. Now, if it gets extended, this is kind of the path. But if it goes according to my plan, what I'm thinking is it will actually drop into Fed like this. I don't know really why it would do that. Maybe a CPI or some inflation report shows that, you know, their policy hasn't really been working, and then it will slow bounce into the March meeting. In which case it will be, obviously they'll probably be like, well, according to the last reports, we've decided to raise rates, right? And just completely drop a bomb on the market, and then maybe it comes down, forms that lower low. We have a daily gap at 392.04. So maybe this is the trajectory. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me, but it's probably not going to happen like this. It'll probably happen slower. Whatever makes the Fed look good, right? They don't really care about actually. I'm not going to say it. I'm just pissed. So maybe this is the path. And it'll all just correspond to Federal Reserve events. Makes sense to me. I know this is a long video, but I'm not going to be making a lot of videos, just maybe one or very few long ones. Kind of, give my sentiment, because I mean, I like how it's reversing here. If this was bearish, because I was thinking that it was playing out that two-leg sequence, you know what I mean? Oh, shoot. I thought it was actually like just playing this out, and just like a micro way, and that we were just doing this. So, we'll do leg 2 today of a micro sequence like this, and then that would basically solidify the top, I think. But I don't know, man. That 1 minute gap, you know how I feel about those, then. So I'm pretty sure that this gets taken care of before the market actually pivots. So yeah, I'm calling the bluff. I'm calling the effing bluff. Man, I need nicotine. This market, man. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably check in next week, maybe end of the week. I just refuse to believe AMC is actually breaking down here. Well, every other meme in the meme basket is running. And, you've had these after hours where you have like 1 million volume candles in these after hours. What? What is that? Who's accumulating here? Is it a person, or is it just algo BS? Look at this. 800K, 800K, 578, 860. It's a lot of money, man, in extended hours. That volume is weird. It's very weird. Another one here. 1.3 mil. Shares. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Beautiful. Beautiful. Mullen. I was really looking at it like, oh, this could be a scalp thing, Maybe 8 cents is the bottom. Nope. This thing is trashed. Look at this, man. Look at these reverse splits. They got another one today, which brought it up to $7. I think think it'll show up on the chart eventually. But I'm thinking, because I had my eyes set on this 4 gap for a long time. I was like, maybe this company turns around and this gets checked off. But I realized after today that, well, if they just reverse split and they do 1 for 100 or whatever, then they push the price up to 7 right here. The candle just popped up. So, from this point to 11 is 46%, which is not bad, right? Maybe there is some shorts that want to get out. Maybe it follows the market sentiment going forward. And then all you really need to do here is just get the stock to die from this point, and you check off all of these gaps, and and then you just put it into an endless cycle of death. Really, I think this is a death spiral, to be honest with you. I think that this stock is in a death spiral, a technical death spiral. There's like, you really can't. If you can short it, go for it, I guess. I don't know. You still gotta be careful. But I was really thinking that, it'd be good to start a position here just for a bounce. But reverse split news. Nothing really else worth playing though. MVIS, GME, AMC, SPY are really just the main ones because they all have really good volatility. Whatever direction they choose to go in is usually profitable. But today doesn't look like it should be bullish, Like, I'd say my gut is saying it's bearish, and that everything is just gonna get one more. It's gonna be a slow day, and then Friday maybe, because it's a 3-day weekend. If there's a heavily shorted stock, I'm pretty sure you have to have a maintenance fee over the weekend. I don't know why. I guess in case for news drops, but if I was short, I wouldn't want to hold over the weekend. So I'd try to get out now and then just re-enter next week. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, let's hope things go well. 37 minutes? Jesus. It's okay. Yeah, I hope you guys do well. Hopefully the market doesn't die too fast, and that this is just a dip before the rip. You know what I mean? See ya, man. Till next time. Peace.